Now, Microsoft's commitment to continue training our people here, 50,000 and more, and making sure that up to 1 million people do have access, means that it is committed to leaving no one behind. And AI holds great potential to also drive economic growth, as we saw in Brad's presentation. And AI-powered computing capabilities can bolster existing industries and can bolster businesses as they build their own business models and pave the way to the creation of new businesses. So I'd like to thank you, Brad, and all of you who are here present. It's a real joy and a pleasure to be here and to be here with leaders from government and from business, all of you. This for us is a real momentous occasion to have had an announcement of such enormous proportions, where Microsoft, a global company, a global player, which is an American company with an African heart. That's what I'm asking now for sale. And as we were talking earlier with Brad, I said, Brad, you are very brave. You're very brave to have come out during this geo. And that's when I saw that this company really has an African heart. The company's commitment to Africa and to South Africa has been solid and also very dependable over the more than 30 years that Microsoft has been here, as well as being impressive. Microsoft has had constant presence in our country, virtually, as we've heard, since the dawn of our democracy, and having opened up its first offices here in 1992. Since then, Microsoft has substantially expanded its local footprint and is almost in every corner of our country, and has now got thousands of partners as well as customers. The company's commitment, particularly to skills and capacity building, is most impressive, as we saw in Brad's presentation here. So this company is actively working to empower young South Africans with skills for the digital economy. We are particularly excited about the launch of a National AI Skilling Initiative that will focus on providing, as we saw, AI skills training also for public servants. We've got Professor Busani Ngaweni, I haven't seen him, but I heard he's here, who is the principal of the School of Government. We look forward to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between Microsoft and the National School of Government and the National Electronic Media Institute of South Africa. Microsoft's ongoing expansion of data centers and cloud investment cements the company's position as one of the leaders in cloud computing in South Africa. And as I saw the pictures of the infrastructure layout, it really also got our premier here so excited, because he's all about infrastructure, particularly in this province. And we are really glad that infrastructure is being laid out, and we are moving up the ladder of a country that invests in infrastructure. Last year, government published the National Data and Cloud Policy to support digital innovation across our own economy. In tandem with the expansion of cloud infrastructure, we are strengthening our regulatory frameworks. And this is where, as Brad was saying, we deal with policy matters. We're in the process of finalizing, for instance, our cybersecurity bill. This will ensure more secure online government services. And Brad also spoke about issues of privacy and security. And this, in many ways, will enable our citizens to transact and conduct online services safely. Already we've got an arm of our government, SARS, through which we are able to interface with what SARS does to collect money. That's what they exist for. So when you see the commissioner here, all he's interested in is your money. He wants to collect your money. But they do it so effectively. And I'm very glad, Brad, that you recognize that as a government, we are acceding to higher levels of utilizing digital skills, particularly artificial intelligence. And as part of our work to reform the public service and to build a capable state, we are investing in digital public infrastructure to give South Africans access to government services anytime, anywhere. When I addressed the nation during what we call, Brad, our own State of the Union, this State of the Nation address, we focused the nation's attention on one of our key priorities, which is building a capable state. And to build that capable state means that we want to give the people of our country great services, like what SARS is doing now. Our Home Affairs is going to be doing more and more of that. And we will spread it through our other departments that interface with our people. And Microsoft is one of those companies that are going to enable us and help us to be able to reach that level of proficiency. And at the heart of this process, which we call transformation, is the implementation of the digital identity system that will transform the relationship between citizens and government and create one government that is accessible to every person at a touch. And today, those who interface with SARS, those who are taxpayers, are able to interface with our government through a number, through logging on, and get every service that SARS has to give, but especially as they get your money out of your pocket. But beyond blazing a trail in local technology space, the long-standing presence of Microsoft in South Africa is a vote of confidence in our country and in our economy. And I'd give Microsoft, and I'd like to give Microsoft, you can applaud again, a round of applause for showing this continence because the strategic investments that Microsoft has announced today stand as a further testimony to this enduring confidence. And for us, what it also means is that indeed we are the gateway into our continent. We've got that capability as a nation and as a country. Now, they signal also to the business and investor community that South Africa's economy continues to hold immense potential, and a potential that is favorable to business and for them to be able to know that they can invest here in a secure manner. Over the past 5 years alone, Microsoft has invested significantly in cloud, in data centers, in agriculture, and in the digital transformation of government services. It is commendable that Microsoft, in many ways, has achieved level 1 broad-based Black economic empowerment status. This shows an exceptional commitment to our country's empowerment goals. And we know that Microsoft has worked very hard to attain this level. And they've been walking this journey of transformation, of change with us as a country. And it has successfully integrated the objectives of our policy positions, our transformative policy positions, into its business operations, particularly with respect, yes, to the issue of empowerment, of ownership, management, control, but more importantly, skills development. And Microsoft has demonstrated its commitment to addressing the historical imbalances of South Africa's past and to the fostering of an inclusive business environment. Brad, your speech and your input in your presentation was most moving indeed. But the one part that really touched something in my heart was when you did the analysis of looking at the disparity between the global North and the global South. And not many people from the North fully understand what the past that we've been through. And you mentioned the word colonialism, and in our case, we mentioned apartheid as well. What that did to entrench that separation between the global North and the global South. And indeed, why is the spread of electricity so stark when you look at the global North and the global South? And then you also drill into your analysis what is happening on our continent. As a country, we have, by dint of hard work, by dint of focusing on what needs to be done to advance the interests of our people, we've been able, Brad, to ensure that almost 93% of the people of South Africa have electricity. And we are very proud about it. Now, this is not what you find in many countries in the global South. It's not what you find in many countries on our continent. And you are therefore in a country that aspires to progress, a country that aspires to be transformative, and a country that aspires to move up the ladder in as far as the digital economy. And it is no wonder that Microsoft defines its mission and its values with the words, "We empower the world." Now, in our briefing session before we came here, I told you that when I saw that word, I just got so endeared to Microsoft. I said, "Dude, empower? That is the one word that I love the most, because it is about empowerment." Today's meeting is indeed about the story of pathfinders for South Africa and for the continent. And your input was more about a call to arms, to embrace innovation. And AI's transformative potential cannot be understated. I mean, apart from making me look very handsome, it cannot be understated. And the global community is rushing to harness the opportunities that it presents. Now, as the United Nations Development Program has said, AI's development, governance, and the use must be inclusive as well as equitable. It must ensure that no country is left behind. Now, Microsoft's commitment to continue training our people here, 50,000 and more, and making sure that up to 1 million people do have access, means that it is committed to leaving no one behind. AI holds great potential to also drive economic growth, as we saw in Brad's presentation. And AI-powered computing capabilities can bolster existing industries and can bolster businesses as they build their own business models and pave the way to the creation of new businesses. And our main remit as a government is to ensure that we create a conducive environment for businesses to be created, for businesses to grow, and for businesses to contribute to the growth of our economy. Now, as a country, we are developing a national AI policy that seeks to position South Africa as also a leader in AI innovation, while at the same time addressing its ethical, economic, and societal implications. We must heed the words of the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, who said that artificial intelligence without guardrails, it could further exacerbate inequalities and digital divides. The AI revolution is a catalyst, as far as one has deciphered, for job creation, but particularly for young people. Last week at the annual Lekgotla of our basic education sector, I said that future-proofing of our education system means coming to terms with the reality that the first fully digital generation is already in high school today as we speak. The next generation, Generation Beta, will be immersed in tech and in AI from birth and will enter a world of work that is light years away from what it is today. I've said in the past that, I went to a conference in Mexico and met, you might be interested to know, great teachers from Canada. And we were talking about coding, and they said they are already teaching coding at 2 years old. 2 years old, and I came back and I said, at 2 years old, they're already doing that. We only start much later. And this is the world that we are in now. And building a robust AI talent pool is therefore a must, and it is critical for us. The application of AI will need to be integrated into our educational curricula. Specialized training programs will need to be offered, and strong partnerships will also need to be forged between academia and industry. As part of its commitment to digital transformation for sustainable development, Microsoft has invested in AI skills as well as training for SMMEs, and we are grateful for that. It has dedicated considerable resources, I'm told, into supporting Black-owned companies pioneering for IR technologies, and we just saw on their pictures some of them. So Microsoft's plans to train 1 million South Africans in AI skills, machine learning, and cybersecurity by 2026 is immensely encouraging and very impressive for a country such as ours with such a high youth unemployment rate. This comprehensive training will not only prepare young people for jobs in high-tech industries, it will also facilitate self-employment. You spoke about the YES program. It was when I sat down with Stephen Kosef, who used to be the CEO of Investec, and I said, what can the private sector do? What can the private sector do to make sure that young people are job prepared? They get into job situations and be well prepared so that when they get into the world of work, they are ready. And it's pleasing that that program got started. When we launched it, well, initially I thought that it would be like, hundreds of thousands. But it's been building up. It's building up momentum. And I'm rather pleased that a number of companies, including Microsoft, are part of this whole effort. It will contribute to a new generation of tech and software entrepreneurs, this whole process, that will bring innovation and high-tech solutions that support economic growth and also will help in advancing our country's competitiveness. So Microsoft's commitment to supporting South Africa's transition to a high-tech economy comes for us at a pivotal time. as we are hosting the G20. Using AI for sustainable development is amongst the priorities of our G20 partnership, which we have put out there. The Artificial Intelligence Data Governance and Innovation Sustainable Development Task Force that we have set up will be leading this whole stream. We look forward to engagement with the B20, and I'm glad that people like Puti is here, the CEO of NASPERS, in her role also as being a leader on the B20, and other industry stakeholders is in support of the task force work is going to be truly, truly meaningful, because it is here in South Africa that we will showcase, and aided and abetted by companies such as Microsoft, the effectiveness of artificial intelligence and how AI can be utilized to power economic growth. And we have high expectations that our G20 presidency will result in what I would call tangible outcomes, both expanding the global digital economy and leveling the AI playing field for the benefit of all. And it is here in Johannesburg that we are hoping that when the G20's declaration is drafted, it will have a huge component of speaking to the AI process and generated here in discussions, as many countries who are part of the G20 will be also participating. Our country and continent has huge potential, driven by the talents and the energies of our people. It is up to all of us, and in many ways working in partnership, that we can ensure that artificial intelligence and its associated technologies does not deepen the digital divide, but actually narrows it and finally eliminates it. And I think it is possible. As we look towards hosting the G20 summit later this year, we are committed to ensuring that the adoption of new technologies catalyzes and boosts Africa's growth, and as well as industrialization, as well as Africa's progress. So we are excited to partner with Microsoft to make this a reality. You come to make this announcement at an opportune moment for us in our throes, or in the throes of us chairing and heading the G20. But not only that, in having these conversations in the G20 about artificial intelligence. So your presentation, Brad, today is just an enormous boost, but it is also your recognition of South Africa's ability to adapt and to utilize the technologies of artificial intelligence and to integrate that into the work that we do in government. And one of our government departments leading in this process being SARS, Home Affairs about to follow, various other departments in government also going to follow, our health system, and indeed our benefits, the grant system also will follow in tow. So we are involved as South Africa in a revolution of embracing artificial intelligence. So what you have done today is to come to boost that whole process, and I'd like to thank you. And I do wish you could stay longer, because this is the best place that anybody who is enthusiastic about AI can ever come to. South Africa.